Jeremy Lin has officially retired from professional basketball. After a career that spanned 15 years across the NBA, the CBA, and international stages, Lin is closing the chapter on one of the most inspiring, unexpected, and unforgettable journeys in modern basketball. For millions of fans around the world, this isn't just the end of a career, it's the closing of a story that defined hope, resilience, and the power of believing in yourself when no one else does. Lin's story began in Palo Alto, California, where the son of Taiwanese immigrants developed a love for the game of basketball. Unlike most future NBA players, Lin didn't grow up with scouts following him in high school. He was overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed because of his size, his background, and the simple fact that the NBA wasn't expecting an Asian American guard to rise up and dominate. He ended up at Harvard, not a traditional powerhouse for producing NBA talent, but there he showed flashes of brilliance. He led the Crimson in scoring, proved he could handle top competition, and quietly built a reputation as a player with extraordinary instincts and work ethic. But still, when the 2010 NBA draft came around, Jeremy Lin's name was not called. He went undrafted, another dream seemingly stopped short, yet Lin's journey was only beginning. He fought his way onto the Golden State Warriors roster through Summer League, where his scrappy defense and ability to get to the rim stood out. He wasn't a star, he barely played, but he made it. He cracked into the NBA when the odds were stacked against him. Lin bounced around during those first years, from Golden State to the Houston Rockets, fighting for minutes, surviving 10-day contracts, and living on the edge of being cut. But destiny was waiting in New York City. The Knicks of 2012 were struggling, injuries plagued the team, rotations were a mess, and fans were losing hope. Lin was a bench warmer at the time, barely known outside of die-hard basketball circles. Then on February 4th, 2012, everything changed. Lin was given a chance to play significant minutes against the New Jersey Nets, and in that moment, he exploded, scoring 25 points, dishing out 7 assists, and leading the Knicks to victory. Lin captured the attention of not just the city, but the entire basketball world. Over the next 2 weeks, Jeremy Lin went from a nobody to the face of the NBA's biggest story. Madison Square Garden was electric. Fans chanted his name. The headlines screamed Linsanity. Night after night, Lin delivered. He scored 38 points against Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers, out-dueling one of the greatest players of all time. He hit a game-winning 3 against the Toronto Raptors that made Canadian fans erupt despite being the road team. He carried the Knicks on a winning streak that revived their season and turned him into a global icon. What made Linsanity so powerful wasn't just the numbers, it was the story. Here was a player who looked different, who came from Harvard instead of Duke or Kentucky, who was undrafted, overlooked, and even cut multiple times. And yet, when given the opportunity, he became unstoppable. For Asian American fans and for fans across Asia, Jeremy Lin became a symbol of possibility. He shattered stereotypes and inspired an entire generation to believe that basketball could belong to them too. But as quickly as Lin's sanity rose, challenges returned. Lin suffered injuries, the Knicks hesitated on his contract, and eventually he signed with the Houston Rockets. What followed was a career of ups and downs. Lin never again reached the dizzying heights of those few weeks in 2012, but he remained a valuable role player across multiple NBA teams. He suited up for the Rockets, the Lakers, the Hornets, the Nets, the Hawks, and the Raptors. He carved out a career through persistence, humility, and adaptability. The ultimate reward came in 2019, when Jeremy Lin joined the Toronto Raptors. Though his role was limited, Lin made history as the first Asian American to win an NBA championship. Watching him lift the Larry O'Brien trophy was more than a personal victory. It was a cultural milestone. Millions of fans across Asia saw one of their own, reaching the pinnacle of the sport. After his NBA journey slowed down, Lin refused to stop playing. He moved to the Chinese Basketball Association, joining the Beijing Ducks. There, he became a superstar once again, averaging strong numbers and proving that his love for the game burned as brightly as ever. Later, he returned to Taiwan, where he continued to inspire young athletes and connect with fans in a deeply personal way. Throughout it all, Jeremy Lin remained grounded. He spoke openly about his faith, his struggles with self-doubt, and his desire to use basketball as a platform for good. He launched charitable efforts, mentored young players, and stayed connected to the communities that lifted him up. And now, in August of 2025, Jeremy Lin has officially announced his retirement. His statement was emotional and heartfelt. He He thanked his family, his fans, his teammates, and everyone who believed in him during the times when it felt like nobody did. He reflected on his journey from an undrafted kid sleeping on a teammate's couch in New York to a global star whose name will forever be associated with one of the most electrifying runs in NBA history. The end of Jeremy Lin's playing career invites reflection on his legacy. He may not have the numbers of a LeBron James or a Steph Curry. His career averages don't tell the story of a Hall of Famer, but Jeremy Lin's impact goes beyond statistics. He broke barriers. He gave representation to millions of people who rarely saw themselves on NBA courts. He brought joy, excitement, and hope at a time when the Knicks desperately needed it. And he proved that sometimes, for a short, shining moment, anyone can be the star of the show. Linsanity will never be forgotten. It was more than a hot streak. It was a cultural movement. It was proof that basketball is bigger than wins and losses. It's about stories, about people, and about the way a single player can ignite the imagination of fans around the globe. As Jeremy Lin steps away from the game, he leaves behind more than highlight reels. He leaves behind an example of resilience. He showed us that failure isn't the end, that being cut, benched, or overlooked doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do when your opportunity finally comes. Lin grabbed his opportunity with both hands, and he made history. Fans around the world are saying thank you today. Thank you for the memories, the inspiration, and the courage to believe in dreams that seemed impossible. Jeremy Lin may never put on an NBA jersey again, but his story will live on every time a young player looks at the court and says, if he could do it, maybe I can too. So here's to Jeremy Lin. From Palo Alto to Harvard, from undrafted to Linsanity, from journeyman to NBA champion, from overlooked to unforgettable, a true legend whose legacy goes far beyond basketball. Jeremy Lin has officially retired, but his impact will never fade. Thank you, Jeremy, for showing the world the power of faith, perseverance, and seizing the moment.
Dear Jeremy, my son.
Hey, Jeremy.
宝贝儿子
Jeremy, it's been the privilege of a lifetime to walk with you through your journey.
Look who's coming in. Jeremy Lin.
每一场用生命打球的你，激励后代勇敢追梦。
Lin to the basket, reverse layup, he puts it in. Oh, what a play for Jeremy Lin.
I know you will continue to inspire hope because that's who you are.
Lin puts it up. Bang! Jeremy Lin.
Thank you for never cheating the game and bringing your loved ones along the journey with you.
You were brash and unapologetic, shattering every barrier along the way.
My prayer is that God will continue blessing you for your next chapter.
I'm glad you're at peace and as you should be.
I'm so proud of you，超级爱你的妈妈。
I love you so much.
Love you. Happy retirement.